an app that uses a lot of capacity that somebody will be willing to pay for. That's the beautiful thing about our industry. So the other piece, hardware evolution. You look at the work that we've been doing in phones over the last 5 years. 5 years ago, it was about hiring engineers who understood the modem. Now, it's about hiring engineers that understand high-quality graphics and audio, and how are we going to get camera sensors smaller and smaller for use in a wireless device, and creating the underlying APIs to drive those consumer electronics functionalities coming into the phones. Again, if I was here 5 years ago, I could name our active chipsets on one hand, and more specifically, the two, 5100 and 5500, were supporting 1X and EVDO. Now I need an entire page in a book with sampling dates and the different capabilities that each of those chipsets provides. So we've really tiered the market, and that's reflective of the opportunity that's been put in front of us. So early in, it was about Korea and Japan and then the US. Now it's everything from high-end processors to very low-cost phones going into India, and everything in between. And so we've built our business around that. In 2005, we began the development of a core called Scorpion, which eventually became the core that's part of Snapdragon today. And back then, I would have told you that Snapdragon would ultimately go into every device but a phone. It was really going to be the product for us that took wireless and put it into consumer electronics and computing. Right? We'd seen the consumer electronics and computing capability come into wireless devices. Snapdragon was going to be our way of taking wireless and embedding it into those devices. What's happened since then is the market's come to us a bit. I'd like to think we had a hand in creating that because of what we achieved with Snapdragon, both in price and performance. But moving out to smartphones, that processing power is required. So some pretty significant milestones. We began development of the core, developed the first dedicated apps processor, first to 1 gigahertz, and now first to asynchronous dual core. We're going to 2 cores because we can put certain functionalities in one and certain functionalities in the other to optimize for power, something we're always laser focused on, this very rare and precious resource of power consumption in these devices. So Snapdragon today, 20 manufacturers with over 140 designs, either commercial in the market or in process of being launched. And we believe there's going to be a lot of experimentation with design in this space. The industry has kind of adopted this term of smartbook, and the idea is that it's a smaller form factor than a laptop, but has the characteristics more of your smartphone, right? So the idea that you can leave it on all day, that you want to check your mail, it's just there.